Hello everyone, welcome back or welcome to Cosmic Connections if you are new. I am Carissa Wallner. This is a place for intuitives, dreamers, and sensitive souls to discover and awaken their own inner knowings. Today's pick-a-card reading will be exploring what your natural born talents or gifts that you came here to express are. This may cover a multitude of topics such as psychic or spiritual gifts, divination, spirit communication, channeling, dream work, working with elementals and tapping into magical realms, and even spiritual alchemy. But before we get started, I just wanted to thank you for taking a chance and checking out this channel if you are new, and thank you so much if you are returning or coming back. If you are a returning community member, I really appreciate it so much. I truly love reading all of your wonderful comments and appreciate all of your support more than words can say. Hello and welcome to Cosmic Connections. This is a place for intuitives, dreamers, and sensitive souls to awaken and develop their own inner knowings. Here you will find love-based tarot readings, fun magic and manifestational tips, high vibrational meditations, and all things astrology. I'm looking to grow a beautiful community of like-minded and talented souls. If you feel called to do so, please like, comment, and or subscribe so we can continue to call in this soul family based on love. I'm Carissa and welcome to Cosmic Connections. So with all of that being said, I received this inspiration for this reading kind of in parts. The first part I received as an idea of kind of like exploring magical talents and gifts that you offer to the world, and it was kind of perfect because I received this idea before I did do a poll, like what kind of topics you are interested in. Magical gifts and intuitive gifts were one of the most picked topics. So I did receive the idea before actually the poll was voted on, so that was kind of cool that it confirmed that that is what you're interested in. I received this idea of exploring what magical gifts or talents that you offer to the world, what they are, while I was on a walk in my new community that I just moved to. And I just moved over the past 2 weeks, and I've been exploring the unique magic that my new home and community offer, and I thought that we could explore the same type of idea, but what you offer to the world. I thought that this would be like kind of a natural-based reading. I've got some natural stones instead of, regular gem crystals. I've got some natural stones that I thought were really pretty and I was drawn to that I found outside of my new place that I live. We have some Lemurian quartz here, and I have tarot cards from the Ethereal Visions tarot deck. I actually just found these two bird feathers, a blue jay, and I'm still trying to figure out what this one is. Yesterday I found this one on Mother's Day, and I found this one today. So because this reading is based off of your natural talents that you came here to express, I thought that we would use some natural aesthetic items such as these rocks and feathers instead of normal crystals, and I just kind of wanted to provide like a different kind of reading that was kind of had a natural theme to it, and that inspired me to base the reading off of your natural magic talents and or gifts that you came to Earth to express, explore, and embody. So with all of that being said, you can feel free to tune into whichever rock and or card you are drawn to most. I will show them up close as well as the fortunes. So first we have this rock. Obviously, I don't know exactly what these are, but you can tune into the energy of it if you are drawn to it or not. So this is group 1. We have this Lemurian quartz and 4 of Wands. Your fortune is many receive advice, only the wise profit from it. Yours, I drew these out of a bag, so yours happened to have numbers, but the others didn't. So if these numbers mean anything to you, then this is confirming. 40, 2, 11, 19, 20, and 25. Group number 2 has this crystal. Sorry, group number 2 has this stone. I'm used to saying crystal. And it kind of has like a pinkish hue to it. This is your Lemurian quartz. You have the Justice card, and you have your fortune, good luck will come in the springtime. Just as a side note, I don't really feel like the springtime is super prevalent with this fortune. I have an idea, but we'll see more as the reading gets into it. So don't be astray, like led astray from that reading just because of the word springtime. Now group number 3 has this stone. This Lemurian quartz. Your tarot is the 7 of Pentacles. Hi group 3, I'm sorry I did not even read your fortune in the intro, so it is golden investment opportunities are arising, and I believe there's another reading that I did a couple of readings back, just like 2 or 3, that group 3 also had this fortune, and I draw these out of a bag, so they are pulled with intention at random. So I feel like, and I do believe, I'm gonna look back on that reading, I do believe that reading was very, very, very related to what your reading is going to be about, but I don't want to share any spoilers. I also have a feeling, I think I know why I forgot to even read your fortune, but I can't say that, or I don't want to say that now because it will kind of give away your reading. So just stay tuned and know that there is some exciting and kind of fun stuff waiting for you to be aware of and to kind of download during this reading. So I'm really excited to share this with you. So those are your card options, group 1, 2, and 3. Feel free to take a minute, tune into the energy of each stone, each card, each fortune, choose which whenever you are most drawn to or guided to, and you will see me in your reading. Hello group number 1, welcome to your pick a card reading, exploring what magical gifts that you came here to express. It may be something that you're aware of, that you are already tapped into, going to tap into, or that your light team is encouraging you to tap into. So to begin this reading, we have the 4 of Wands, card that you drew from the Ethereal Visions Tarot. And we have your fortune, many receive advice, only the wise profit from it. So before I began this reading, I had this idea for this reading for like a week, and there's been a lot of planetary shifts going on, and I was kind of just waiting for the inspiration and the kind of just like clearing my energy to just feel ready to do this reading, but I was really excited to do it. So I kind of pulled your main cards and sat with them for a couple days, and I kind of had an idea to pull a card from each element. So 4 cards, 1 from fire, earth, air, and water, and they are all going to resemble something different. So this is going to be combined with your tarot card that you picked. These cards are already drawn. I don't usually do this, but I was really excited to do this reading pull. I pulled 4 cards on top of your tarot, and we're going to explore those first. The message of fire is going to be from the Dragon Oracle, and it is going to be a message of power. The message from the air is going to be from the Fairy Oracle. It's going to be a message of inspiration. The message from the earth element is going to be from the Elf tarot that I have, and it is going to be a message of grounding. And the message from the water element is going to be from the Mermaid Oracle, and it will be a message of healing. So because this is a natural-based reading off of your natural talents and gifts or magic that you came here to express, I thought that we would just use one of each element as just a little bit of a guidance, and also to kind of set the energy of the reading, kind of also as energy checkpoint or confirming, so you can decide if this reading is going to work for you or not. So to begin, we're gonna do the message of power from the dragons, and you have thoughts. And for your second card, it is the message of inspiration from the fairy oracle, moderation. And this says, is there something you know you shouldn't be eating? Try to eat mindfully and healthily, although the fairies say that a little bit of what you fancy is fine. This does not obviously pertain to only food. Your message of grounding from the earth element is the Eight of Wands reversed. And I already sat with these energies and have decided if they are staying flipped or not. This one is staying reversed. And your message of healing from the water element is contentment. Okay, so I did want to say, before we get into reading the cards, when I meditate on each group and tune into and connect with your light team as well as mine, so that I can deliver these messages as fluidly, accurately, and peacefully as possible. I had been tuning into your energy for a couple days because, like I said, I was kind of picking cards through the days and just kind of building up the energy of this reading. And the times that I tuned into your energy, I felt like that feeling that you, like the feeling of like it's like excitement, but it's like in the pit of your stomach, kind of like excitement before you go do something that's kind of scary, but not like in a bad way, just like exciting, like if you were going to go bungee jumping, or if you were like gonna sing on stage, if you like that kind of thing, like right before you're going to do something really exciting, if you're gonna go like zip lining, like that feeling you get right before that, like adrenaline rush. Like I felt a lot of that adrenaline rush. It's the exciting feeling. It might not be making it sound very good, but it's just a feeling of fast-paced and quick energy and excitement. So I am curious to see if that ties into your reading at all. So to begin your reading, your message of power that's coming through from the element of fire through the Dragon Oracle, your card is thoughts. I'll show you this up close. This card is coming through to tell you that before we tap into exactly what gifts that you're going to be tapping into, this is going to give us a baseline kind of going into your future. These four cards are going to give us an idea of kind of like messages that each element is hoping that you will take with you going forward. So your reading is going to be centered a lot around using your mind and using your thoughts when it comes to your magical gifts or your psychic gifts or your creative gifts. Whatever the powers that you came here to tap into and express are going to involve your mind and the power of your mind and how you use your mind. If you use it for good, or if you use it to entertain more negative aspects or more reality-based aspects, or if you wanted to say like reality 3D-based aspects. So let's just sit with that for a minute, and then the message of it, inspiration from the fairies. Your card is moderation. Is there something you know you shouldn't be eating? Try to eat mindfully and healthily, although the fairies say that a little bit of what you fancy is fine. So this card usually comes up when talking about it can mean literally what you're eating is what I meant to say, but what it usually means when I pull it in a reading is that it's more talking about the diet of your mind, the diet of your thoughts, which is funny that that's right next to the thoughts card. So you're going to be learning how to, your guidance from the guidance of inspiration is to really moderate going into your future. When you start tapping into your magic, really moderate between keeping the positive and letting go of the negative, and just decipher between what thinking patterns and what thoughts are helping you and what thoughts are kind of blocking you or keeping you held back. So this 9 of Wands is showing me here reversed that like I said, I felt a really fast, this is the message from the earth element, so this is going to be the message of grounding. I felt a really fast-paced kind of like adrenaline, like I said, when I tapped into your energy. And so I think like the 8 of Wands is usually a card of movement and fast pace, but I think that going into this next chapter where you're going to be exploring what magical gifts that you came here to discover and share with the world, I think that they're asking you to slow and steady wins the race. So don't force things and don't try to rush things, because it's going to be a lot of this ties in with the thoughts and the moderation card relating to your mental state. It's asking you to just slow down a little bit and to just tune into your inner being and your guidance system, your inner guidance. And this water healing card here from the Mermaid Oracle, Contentment, is just telling you that going into your future path, when you're exploring your magical gifts and you're tapping into them and you're starting to develop them, being content and having a calm and content and balanced mind is going to be the key to your success when it comes to unlocking and achieving these gifts. So now that we have some inspiration from all of the natural elements of Earth, let's actually check out what the magic is that you're going to be, it's coming in for you, or that you're going to be exploring or expressing or creating even. So I feel drawn to the Unicorn Oracle. I think I kind of see three cards. I'm gonna pull 3 and see what comes through and start there. So to group number 1, light team. What magical gifts, talents, abilities, creative abilities, I guess, did they come here to express and to explore and to share with the world? Yes, for all these 3. Let's see. So first we have compassion. Be gentle with yourself. Forgiveness will set you free. See the light in yourself and others. Past lives. Release your past life karma. You are an old soul with deep wisdom. Healing your past lives will raise your vibration. Whoa. Hope. Stay positive. The worst is behind you. Look up to the light. Okay, so I feel like this may sound kind of like a weird magic or a weird gift or ability, because you may be thinking of something more common, maybe, as in, you know, the developing clairaudience or clairvoyance or channeling or something. But what's coming through here is, it's slightly different than what's coming through here is that I haven't done group number 3's reading, but you may be drawn to group number 3's reading as well, because it feels like a lot of the energy I was feeling from group number 3, what your light team is confirming for you is that you're at a pivotal point, or you're going to be going through in your future from seeing this video and on. Okay, so I heard alchemizing and the alchemist, so that makes a lot of sense with the thoughts card, which is what I just saw. You're using your thoughts to alchemize your reality, your thoughts themselves, and your life, and the situations and circumstances and relationships that are surrounding your life. Both of the compassion and past lives cards are showing that you're an old soul, and what you came here to do, because you're such an old and strong and capable soul, you came here to transmute thinking patterns and in turn ways of being for your bloodline, for your ancestors, for your family that is alive now. You came here to alchemize. It's weird, I just had like chills on my right arm when I said that, which is my indication of just confirming what I usually happens when I'm thinking something, so saying it out loud is confirming what I was saying out loud. But the magic that you came here to Earth to explore and experience is the alchemization of 3D thinking patterns, or just older thinking patterns, outdated thinking patterns that are no longer working and working for you, serving you, however you phrase it. You came here to, one, recognize that those don't feel good, they aren't working, something can change. Two, to have the strength and ability and will, because the will is the most important after the recognition. The will is the most important, to want to change these patterns, to not see yourself as a bad person or in a negative light just because you have adopted patterns that are not the best through just life on Earth. But you're a very strong and old soul that came here to recognize, have the will to change, and then have the ability and follow through to actually change these thoughts. And when you do this is gonna open up your third eye in your crown chakra. When you release the negative thinking and thoughts that you carry, and you are more open to accepting the positive thinking patterns and the positive thoughts that come into your mind, or promoting those thoughts in your mind instead of the negative, you will open up your mind to be able to process your psychic gifts and your magical gifts, your creative gifts. So I think that your light team is encouraging you to clear your thoughts, clear your mind, calm your mind, and to do a lot of to continue the healing, or to start, if this is something you are moving into the next chapter, to start the healing and the undoing. It's kind of like unraveling a knot in a way. When we have to remove learned patterns from our mind, it's kind of like undoing a knot. It's it's like reversing and then tying a new knot, restarting. So this past life card here is just confirming that you're an old soul, and you may have dealt with a lot of karma in this life because of that, but you came here with a tough shell, and I know it can be harder once you get here than we anticipate before we come, but you came here with a tough shell, and you've lived a lot of life, so you've handled yourself through it very well, and your guides are very proud of you, and they want you to just keep alchemizing this and keep, because this is going to lead to so much more opening of your gifts. And then this hope card is stay positive. The worst is behind you. Look up to the light. This is just confirming that you're here to be the light of your ancestors, of your generation, of your bloodline. You're here to be the hope that for them and the light to make the changes that are necessary to, you could say, step into the 5D for your own ancestral line. You could also say to just live a happier life, however you view it, if you view it more spiritual or however you view it. So far we've understand that your guides are suggesting that you really pay attention to your thoughts and to put down the thoughts that are not helping you anymore and to pick up more positive thoughts, to slow your mind just a little, just to create a calm atmosphere for yourself, and that what magic, what abilities, what gifts, talents you came here to tap into and explore are the alchemization of old and outdated thinking patterns that could not be released if not for you. They could not be released in your bloodline, in your family, if not for you, because you are the soul, the strong soul that came here and chose to do this because you have the strength and the will in your soul and the ability to do this. So I would like to pull one or two more cards. I'd like to pull from the Pleiadian deck. I just saw that one and I think that this is gonna have a little bit more of idea of maybe what magic you can tap into after you have been working with your mind a little bit more and you're open to receiving more gifts. So just one or two cards. There it is. And this. Okay, first we have Lightning Boy and Quantum Heart. I'll show you these up close. Okay, so the Lightning Boy card is kind of an interesting story. It is a story from the Pleiades of a boy who was struck by lightning and pronounced dead, and as he was being pronounced dead, came back to life and then began to have visions of the future. And he was able to actually save the villagers that he lived with from a huge earthquake. And he was just a very honored hero. And I'm gonna read a little passage from the guidebook because I think that it'll just kind of be really inspiring, and it's something that I feel like you may just really like to hear. The story of Lightning Boy is often foretold in our lands, let me show this to you too. For it is wise to always be open to wisdom and guidance hitting you when you least expect it. Here was Maka, a young kid pronounced dead who was jolted back to life to be a hero and save many lives through his experience. We share this story because your life has deep purpose. Sometimes the situation can look bleak and seem as there is no end in sight, but just like Maka being on death's door, one's fortunes can change in the blink of an eye, with life pulling you back to fulfill a much deeper purpose than you never deemed possible. The story of Maka is a reminder to never give up on yourself, for through your perseverance you will perform heroic acts that will help many others down the road. So the additional meanings are patience, rest, recharge, take your time, divine timing, wait, and changes. So that's kind of interesting because we did have the moderation card. We had the Eight of Wands here that was signifying slowing down a little bit, and the contentment card, which for me always makes me feel like, you know, you can't really be content if you don't have a content and peaceful mind. So this card is really interesting that we pulled it and confirming for your reading, because you are, like I heard, the chosen one. You are like a chosen one. You chose to come here, and you were chosen by your ancestors to be the one that could come down and make these changes for the greater good of yourself and your ancestors and the planet and the universe as a whole. Because when you heal yourself individually, when you heal your family and you heal your bloodline and you heal that all for your ancestors, and you heal a lot of the trauma that they have gone through, and you help them to be able to release and enter into a higher vibration. And this is might not sound as exciting as tapping into, you know, if your magic gift that you were going to be tapping into was like seeing extraterrestrials or channeling beings from other planets, this may not sound as exciting as that, but it is, and it's just as important, if not more important than that. It is probably way more important than that, because what you're doing creates the structures and the foundations for this planet to survive. If we don't heal our traumas, we can't vibrate at a higher level, and then we can't ascend, so we stay stuck and stagnant. So you are the alchemist, changing this all for the greater good of yourself and everybody around you and everybody before and after you and during this time. And I'm looking at the Four of Wands here. Oh my gosh, and your fortune. Let's take a second to go back to this. So this card makes me, like, the four always resembles stability and foundation and having like a good, strong, stable ground to stand on. And there is a church here. This looks like a church to me. I don't know what it is, but it definitely looks like a church to me. So that's how I'm interpreting it. And a fruit, like the fruit here makes me, I heard fruitful in a church. So your abilities that you came here to explore and experience and express, but yours are more about experiencing and alchemizing, transforming, are that you're creating a stable foundation for your bloodline, for yourself also, obviously, but you're, in turn, this is all happening for your bloodline. You came here to change and to raise the vibration of your ancestral line and who will come after you, to raise this vibration into a lighter and happier place of more abundance and freedom. And like this church here makes me, if this is a church, whether it is or not, I see it as a church, makes me, with the stability of the four and the wands being inspiration and creativity and expression, you're creating a safe and stable mindset, which will open up abundance to all areas of your life. And then this fortune, many receive advice, only the wise profit from it. Like here with the lightning boy, he was receiving visions. So you may be receiving understandings or downloads or channelings or visions or clairaudience. You may be hearing things from your guides once you can clear the blocks that you may have to receiving spiritual guidance. That may be for just a few people. Some of you may not have those blocks in that sense of how I said that, so take that how it applies. And so for your last card, well, it's not going to be your last card, but your card here that we haven't talked about yet, Quantum Heart. So you have the ability to, I feel like you've lived, like we said, many lives, and you're an old soul. And I feel like you have had the ability to live many lives on other planets. So you have a heart that has like aspects from other dimensions and other planets and other galaxies. And you've kind of like taken things from, like the good things from all of those lives. And that is what is held in your heart. As I feel like you have done through most of your life, to follow your heart and look to your heart when faced with situations or whatever it may be, because you hold such a strong and powerful heart center. Your heart chakra is very strong. Even though I feel called to say some people may have been hurt in the past, very hurt, you still have a very, very, very strong and powerful and will-filled heart center, and you're being guided to look to that during this next phase that you step into of all of this clearing and healing. And I want to read a passage from this card's description because it's going to make probably more sense as to what I'm saying. Okay, so it is here in your heart space where the star incarnate has access to the multidimensional universe or quantum highway. These quantum realms, which your Earth scientists are starting to discover, grant one access to the space of miracles, where one is able to rewire the past, rewrite karmic contracts, dismantle outdated soul agreements, and connect to your future self to further evolve your present life path. The possibilities are infinite when one accesses the quantum heart, and this card signifies that much choice is being presented to you at this moment. Now is a time when the universe is granting you an open lane highway and asking you where to navigate through your choice. Yes, we have a mission and focus, but there is also self-mastery and free will built into this equation. Right now is a time where the canvas is blank and the universe is giving you the pen to write the story of your life. Your additional meanings are freedom, options, infinite possibility, play, accelerated growth, new beginnings, love, romance, relationships, living in the heart. Okay, so I've intended that I've kind of put this all together to make sense for you, but you know, we are coming out of the Mercury retrograde, and I have been slightly tongue-tied, I will say, these past 2 weeks. So this quantum heart is just kind of like a confirming card to signify that you, like it said, you have the ability to clear karmic debts, to rewrite soul contracts. You have the ability to undo what couldn't be undone yet by your ancestors. I'm not gonna say that I'm sorry if this reading wasn't exciting for you, because this really is exciting. It may not be talking about a bunch of woo-woo stuff that maybe you came here to hear, but this is important because this is the stepping stone for getting to that point. Whatever psychic gift or magical or intuitive gift or creative gift that you want to possess or embody in the future, you will. But sometimes we just have to start with like opening up our energy centers and clearing our blocks and releasing things before we can tap into those things. I was like that a lot as a child. I was closed off because of certain things, and then once I was an adult and living on my own, it was like a 360. I was able to tap into my connection a lot easier when I was in my own energy and stuff. So it's not like you're not gonna have exciting psychic gifts. This is a psychic gift. I hope that you see it that way. I know that this was a little, not heavy energy. It was a little bit different maybe than what you were expecting. But it's just as important, you know, if not more. So I think that you're doing an amazing job, and you're gonna do an amazing job, and you're gonna be so successful at this. And this is, you know, it's a big job that you came here to do, but you came here to do it, and you're the one that can do it. And I have 100% faith in you. This, you know, your last piece of guidance, I'd like to pull. I have this deck, the Night School Moonlit Magic deck. It's kind of just like messages of the night and teachings of the night. And I do want to pull this because I went through and I picked out the cards that I felt were most relevant for this reading, pertaining to what gifts or abilities or magic you are going to be tapping into and expressing. So we're going to just shuffle through these and see if there's any last things that your light team would like you to know. Heard yes. And one more. Oh, that's 3. Okay, just this one. These are kind of like pieces of wisdom or abilities, or just magic from the night, messages from the night that are going to pertain to this reading and kind of just tie it together to send you off with like a positive message of inspiration. So inventory your influencers. From social media to television to family and friends, we are surrounded by other people's thoughts and feelings. Who's influencing you? Make a list, then highlight the influencers that support your well-being, happiness, and mystical evolution. So this actually is funny, it's on this side with the thoughts and the moderation, actually. That's interesting. I'm gonna pull this card first and then we will talk about that. Practice reading symbols. Interpret the symbolism of a rowan tree, beginning with history and mythology. Then, looking at modern scientific and or engineering information, take a gander at known symbolism. End with your personal reflection. So with the inventory, your influencers, it really does relate a lot to what we were talking about with your mind. You take this quite literally, like definitely at this point in 2023, go through, if you are a big social media scroller or participator, go through your list and clean it up. People that are still supporting the grind mentality, the work hard, gotta, you know, super in your masculine, super work hard for everything that you need kind of mentality. Or just, that's just one aspect of toxic, quote unquote, traits that influencers share, I guess, with the world. You know, people that are hung up on other people's business, people that are hung up on things they can't change, people that are just sharing information that is fear-based or negative-based, just going through your list of social media and cleaning that up and making sure that, because you're like, I don't know if you've heard this phrase or idea, but what you view, what you watch, what you listen to, what you read, all of these things are food for your mind, just like food is for our body. It's the things that we consume in our mind. And so it's at this point in 2023, it is very important to be picky about that. At this point, it's okay to eliminate things that are not good for your mind. And so this is just a gentle reminder to keep your mind clean, and everything in moderation. It's okay to do the fun things. Like if you're like somebody that loves drama, reality TV shows, that's okay, but just like everything in moderation. So this card, practice reading symbols. Interpret the symbolism of a rowan tree. So it's asking you to look into symbolism in your life a little bit more. And I think that the reason that this is coming through is just to kind of help you develop your psychic gifts more, because things that happen in our day-to-day are a reflection of our inner world. So I think with this card, your guides are asking you, and your light team that just wants to help you to open up your awareness, which is going to help you open up your intuition. If you're looking to develop magical gifts, whether that be like witchy, divination type things, or psychic gifts, as in clairaudience, clairvoyance, clairsentience, things like that, or channeling, tapping into communicating with loved ones that have passed on, ancestors, or beings of light from other dimensions or galaxies. If any of this sounds interesting to you, but maybe you've been unsure of how to go about it, or maybe you've been trying but the connection just isn't there and you're not really sure why, because you are definitely capable of it and you know this, but you're like just confused. This last message is coming through to tell you that when you go about your day-to-day and you start to pay attention to the little things that repeat themselves. So for example, if you keep seeing the same kind of animal, if it's the same kind of specific animal, like if it's a bird but a specific kind of bird, because for example, I've been seeing, I'm not a big like bird species knower, but it's like a blackbird, and it has I think it was a finch. I don't know if it was though, so don't quote me on that, but it was blackbird and orange on its sides. It was like full black and just orange, and I've never really like noticed or took note of that kind of bird, but I've been seeing it everywhere, and so I looked up the meaning of it, and it really related to what was going on. And these are just little things that happen in life all day, every day, and they are expressions of our inner world, and messages and guidance from our light team, kind of just like as a little bit of a support, to just nudge us along our path to our greatest good. And also angel numbers, they don't have to be considered angel numbers if you're not into angels. They can just be spirit numbers or spiritual numbers. Seeing 444, 1111, when they get more advanced, 1, 2, 3, 4, 12, 12, even more advanced, you'll have specific numbers to your life. For me, a lot of it is like my birthday or people that I'm close to their birthday or significant dates. Just paying attention to these things, just trying to keep your eyes open and your awareness open to this, because sometimes we just go throughout our daily life and we don't pay attention to the clock, we don't pay attention to that number that is screaming at us dead in the face, that it's trying to convey a message to us. So that's just all that this is saying, is to just open up your mind and your eyes a little bit more to the symbols that are actually present in your life every day, but you just might not be aware of, because when you start recognizing that amplifies and strengthens your connection with source and your light team, so that you can receive the messages easier and you can open yourself up. This is like a really easy way to, in a simple, good beginner way, to open up that connection if you're looking to open that and build it and strengthen it, to be aware of the symbols in your day-to-day life, in nature, in traffic, through communications with other people. Animals, like I said, are seeing, that's part of nature obviously, but types of animals that occur along your path, and especially if they reoccur, numbers, that doesn't have to be just on the time, that can be on receipts, that can be, I've seen, I've caught the numbers on like the microwave time, I've caught them on like the dishwasher time, the oven, like stuff like that. It doesn't have to just be on a clock telling time. Your light team will get creative once you start paying attention. They probably already are being creative, it's just that awareness and opening up to receiving. So, group number 1, you may be fairly new to your spirituality. You might be just beginning to tap into this, or just learning how to develop it, and that's awesome. Congratulations, that's really exciting to be here. And if you're not new to it, you've been doing this work. If you are new to it, you've been doing this work subconsciously, alchemizing all of these patterns into more positive, uplifting, and higher vibration state. And if you are aware of this and you know this has been going on, then you just are more aware, and you know that this is something that you've been doing, this is something you've been working with. You've come here to alchemize this, to change these ways of thinking and being for the greater, good of the planet, the universe, yourself, and your ancestors and family that's here now. And so your the earth elements and your light team are just guiding you to just pay attention to your thoughts, to remember to enjoy everything but in moderation. Slow down just a tad when things get, when needed, so that you can keep this contentment and this calm and this peace of mind. But you really are a powerful, I heard a light worker, so if that resonates or vibes with you, then it does. You're a powerful soul that came here to change things for the better. And you're going to do it. And you're going to do it through doing what you've been doing what you're going to continue to do, and opening up your eyes and your mind and your heart more to the signs that the universe and nature are providing for you and communicating to you. So I just saw your fortune, and I reread, many receive advice, only the wise profit from it. And I just got this understanding that many receive advice. You have been receiving advice from your light team and ancestors on what to let go of and what to heal, and how to do this, and what to replace those negative thoughts or ways of being or patterns with, what to replace it with, positivity to replace it with. So only the wise profit by it. That means that you're one of the wise that are going to profit and going to make this work and going to change this for the greater good. You're the chosen one. Many receive advice, only the wise profit from it. You might not be aware that you are already tapped in and tuned in to your light team. You might just be looking to develop it more and to strengthen it more, to have a clearer and stronger connection. And so you'll do this. You're going to do this through recognizing the symbols and signs that appear in your life. And you're receiving all of this information, this divine wisdom and guidance. You're receiving it whether it is as clear as hearing the voice or seeing the vision, or just understanding and knowing what to do next. So that is what I have for you, group number 1. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sticking through this whole video. I know your reading might not have been the most magical sounding, but it's very important. This work that you're doing is very important, and you're doing it with love. This quantum heart is here. I can see that you're doing it with a lot of love and care. So thank you for all that you're doing. You're healing so much, personally, ancestrally, and universally through this. So just keep going, and just remember how powerful your soul is. Remember to lead from your heart and to keep a clear mind. And I feel like these are your most powerful cards. So that is what I have for you, group number 1. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this reading, you can feel free to like, subscribe, comment. I'm just looking to call in a family of kindred souls that are looking to live out their dreams and tap into who they really truly are, and came here to be and express that with the world, and to let go of anything that may be holding us back. So if you feel like you want to join the community, I will be here providing these readings. I'm going to continue doing them. They're a lot of fun, and I really love tapping into your energy. You guys are all have beautiful energy, and you're so kind and supportive, and I really truly appreciate all of it. So thank you for being here, and you will see me in the next one. Goodbye. Hello, group number 2. Welcome to your reading, exploring what magic, creative gifts, and or psychic abilities you may be tapping into in this next chapter of your life. I did want to begin this reading with 4 cards that I have previously already drawn before I started this reading. I told group number 1 that, you know, there's been a lot of planetary alignments, shifts, and just a lot going on. I just recently moved and I just needed a little bit of time to kind of get my energy right and settle in. And I didn't want to rush through the reading or give you a lower quality reading. So what I did was I pulled your main cards, and for like almost a week I kind of sat with the energies of them, and I actually had the idea to pull a card from each element. So there is a card here, 4 cards resembling each element: earth, air, fire, and water, and a message of guidance from the elementals of that element in each card. And then we will explore the gifts that you are or abilities that you are going to be coming into, tapping into, exploring, and sharing. So these are going to just be kind of like a guidance, a little bit of an energy check to make sure this is the right reading for you, and we will just begin with these. So from the dragons, they are the Dragon Oracle. This is going to be messages from the fire element, and your card is prayer. A lot of crown chakra energy going on here, meditation. And I also do want to mention that when I was tapping into your energy for this group, your light team, and connecting with them, I was very calm when I was just tapping into your energy. And then when I asked to connect with your light team, I felt a jolt of like energy, but like it felt like kind of like that feeling when you get like shocked. Like it was, but it didn't feel bad. It felt like it felt exciting and charged. Like I felt electric and charged, and I heard the word charged. So we'll see how that pertains to your reading. This is the Oracle of the Fairies, and this is going to be a message of inspiration from the air element. I don't know if I mentioned with the dragon card, this is a message of power from the fire element. This is a message of inspiration from the air element. And we have magical blessings. Whatever you're going through, you're being assisted by magical fairy blessings. The fairies say you can bless others too. Okay, and now this card is from the Elf Tarot, and it is from a message of grounding from the earth element. If I can pick it up. So it is the 7 of Cups reversed, and like I said, I've had these cards laid out and I've been tuned into the energy for a couple days now, so I've already tuned in and received the message that this card is going to stay flipped how it is, reversed. And now the last card is from the messages of the Mermaids. It is a message of healing from the water element. Dreaming. So these are your 4 main cards along with the tarot card that you picked, and this is going to be a little bit of messages from the 4 elements of earth, and then we're going to explore the psychic, magic, or creative gifts that you'll be tapping into. So I do want to start with the tarot and the fortune, because when I pulled the justice card for group number 2, you, I felt like you will be receiving justice on a situation that you that is very important to you. And I know that's broad, but this is a collective reading, so I want to elaborate more when it comes to the fortune that says good luck will come in the springtime. I am very intuitively feeling something about this fortune, but I would like to pull some more cards to confirm it. But what I'm feeling with this good luck will come in the springtime, I feel like it's very much tied to the prayer card, which is very much tuned into the energy of meditation. And I think that good luck, or whatever it is that you're trying to quote unquote manifest, or whatever it is that you just want your reality to look like, or whatever you're trying to bring into your life, however you phrase it, that will come not in the springtime, but in your I heard energetic springtime. So what that means is when you are able to connect more and tap into the energy of your soul and your inner being. And we are able to do that through, often through meditation. So that's just like a side note. I am wondering if your magical gifts that you're going to be tapping into, or creative gifts or psychic gifts, are going to be connection to source or spirit, or ancestors or past loved ones, channeling maybe through beginning to meditate, and that will open up that for you. So I'm not sure, but that's just like what sat with me for a couple days with this energy. So magical blessings card from the air elements. Whatever you're going through, you're being assisted by magical fairy blessings. The fairies say you can bless others too. So this message of inspiration is just letting you know that you are protected, and along with the Justice card, that you are divinely protected and guided during this time that you're stepping into. So whatever it is that you need to do, whether that be meditation or if you've already been meditating and you need to raise your vibration even higher, you can do that through scripting. You can do that through listening to high vibrational music. You can do that through dancing. You can do that through walking in nature. There's lots of different ways. Once you've mastered a meditation, and obviously continue to meditate, don't stop doing that, but there's other ways you can increase your vibration to be in the position of receiving your justice. However it is that you may connect with spirit or source or your light team, that's what the prayer card is indicating, to either do more of that or explore what it is that strengthens and develops your connection. So the Seven of Cups, this is an interesting deck, but this is the tarot of the Elves, and this is actually an image of the Halilil, I believe, is what this person's name is. This is basically like, this is this person's idea of a perfect mate that was manifested and created into the physical form, and basically it didn't work out, and this person is being like reabsorbed into the energy field or the void of whatever. But the keyword of this is illusion, and I was called to keep this card flipped, so I feel like the meaning of this is going to make more sense once we get into the dreaming card of the message of the from the water elements. But you will not be disillusioned, and you will not be disillusioning others. With this dreaming card, this signifies that your magic that you're going to be exploring next is a lot of dream work. Normally, I wouldn't always take this card super literal because of the word dreaming, but because we're exploring magical gifts, this is I've been tuned into this energy for a couple days, and the prayer card along with the dreaming card is expressing that with meditation, you're going to be tapping into your dream world in your dream time even stronger. This is actually really interesting. I'm getting a native. It doesn't have to be necessarily Native American, but it could very well be a Native American energy present here. And that's, interesting because the Native Americans used dream catchers are associated. I believe that's the people that created them, but they did a lot of dream work, and they worked a lot with the intuition of their dreams and interpretations of them, and how using them to understand the day-to-day life, and also what was to come, and to explain the past. So I think that you're going to be exploring your dreams and how they can help you, guide you towards the path of your greatest good. and to kind of bring into your life all the things that you want. You're going to be tapping into maybe like psychic dreams that may even tell events of the future that may occur, or you may be even tapping into past loved ones' energies and receiving messages and communication with them through your dreams, or you might even be receiving downloads through your dreams from your light team or from beings of the light from other galaxies and dimensions. You may also, this is something that I just recently discovered I've been going through in my sleep. If you don't remember your dreams, and this reading doesn't make sense because it's talking about dreams, and you don't remember your dreams, so you're just like confused, you may be doing a lot of ancestral healing and light team healing as well, because our light team is, yes, of the light and does not hold the ego that we do, but there is still healing that they do through us. And a lot of times when we're incarnate on this planet, and a lot of times it's in our sleep. So I don't really remember most of my dreams. But I do feel the energy of them, that they're just like chaotic and hectic, like not in a bad way. It just feels like there's a lot going on, but it's like probably better that I don't remember, because I feel like it would be really exhausting to remember it. I don't really get the best sleep always, but it's gotten a lot better. And so this may be, and that might sound boring, like, okay, so I don't even remember my dreams, and there's just like a bunch of stuff going on of healing and downloads and understandings, but I don't remember my dreams. But I think that knowing that that's happening, that was very helpful for me, and it made things a lot of other things make a lot of sense, to know that that was a thing that could happen and was happening. So if you're not remembering your dreams, you may be doing a lot of healing and developing your intuition and receiving downloads and working with your light team. They do not like use us, but they work through us, and they love through us in our sleep. So if you do find yourself exhausted, I've been guided like from an actual person told that I work with to do Reiki, to just ask for, if you're super exhausted and you really need to sleep and you know that this is what's going on, to just ask them for a night of peaceful sleep, and they will give that to you. They just need to know, because otherwise they will continue this work and evolution through you. So let's pull some more cards and see what else can come through to confirm that you're going to be exploring some magical dream work abilities, and maybe we can get more specific on that. So I kind of want to pull from the Pleiadian Oracle. These have some pretty magical messages, and I pulled from this one in group 1. So I would like to see what they would like to tell you. I heard this one and one more. Yes. Here it is. Okay. So we have remembrance and energy work. So this makes a lot of sense. I actually want to start with the energy work card first. That's exactly what we're talking about. You're doing a lot of energy work in your day-to-day waking life, but also in your dream life. And so I think when you're sleeping, you're subconsciously doing, and your light team is doing this through you and with you, healing and growing and downloading and developing. But then also, like, in your day-to-day, you're somebody that is consciously doing these things as well, working with your shadow, loving on your shadow, working through your wounds and triggers, you know, the good old fun stuff. So this card is like the card of you are your own healer. You are the healer. That's actually one of the additional meanings, one of the keywords. Oh, I just realized your Lemurian course was like way over there. It was over by the Pleiadian cards. That makes sense. Of course we noticed it when we started playing those cards. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so the energy work card is the you are the healer card. So I really feel like you're gonna be, like we were just talking about, doing a lot of healing in your dreams. But I think you're gonna be also like interpreting dreams in your waking life. It's not gonna be all just your sleeping life in your dream time. You're gonna be interested in looking up the symbolism of your dreams and what it means, what they mean, how can you learn and heal and grow and like alchemize from this. You're just going to be doing a lot of exploring your mind through even your daydreams. It doesn't have to be your sleeping dreams. The daydreams that you have, they can be downloads. So you may be receiving downloads through your daydreams. And this is all related to your psychic abilities that you're going to be tapping into, but also like the energy work and healing and clearing that you're going through, and you are your own healer, so that you are doing for yourself, which in turn helps everybody else on the planet, as well as the planet itself, the galaxy itself, the universe itself, and the galaxy and beyond. So the remembrance card that is here is making me also feel tapped and tuned back into the energy of meditation. And so I think that you're going to be working a lot with your dreams, but you're also going to be working a lot with meditation, or you already are, or you're being encouraged to do it because it's going to open up more channels and access to your dream life. If maybe you're one of those people that aren't able to remember your dreams, meditation is going to be your friend when it comes to working with your dream life in interpreting and understanding the symbolisms that come through, because it helps you to have a clearer and a more open, free channel, and it helps you to be more let your guard down when it comes to trying to interpret the symbolisms, and to just not have expectations, so that you can just be open to whatever comes through. So I think that this remembrance card is coming in because you are, as was group number 1, an old soul that is being asked to remember this, that you are not, I don't know if you believe in other lives, past lives. If you don't, I mean, no offense with all of the love, but I don't know why you would be here, because this page is just all about that, but that's just very normalized. So maybe you're here to learn about it, and to be, maybe you have not even ever come across this information or this idea that we could live multiple lives in a way that really makes sense, other than like, mainstream talking about past life, things like that. But you're being asked to remember that you've lived multiple lives, if not hundreds of thousands of lives, and you have a lot of wisdom and knowledge from those lives on other dimensions and planets and galaxies, not just on Earth. And your light team wants you to just, if you don't already know that that's a thing, and that you hold this within you, they want you to know it now, and they want you to know it so that you can be aware of it, and maybe start exploring it and tapping into it and looking into it. If you are not sure exactly what I mean, look into the Arcturians, look into the Pleiadians, look into the extraterrestrial, the Star Sisters. But yeah, you're being guided to really step into your meditation so that you can open up access to your dream life, because you're getting a lot of powerful downloads and understandings and healings in your dream life, whether that be daydreams or night dreams. So let's pull a couple more cards and see if there's something else that wants to come through. Feel Like, let's do some of the unicorns, some Oracle of Unicorns. See what other confirmation will come through. And then we're gonna do some cards from the Night School deck. Okay, I heard yes for this. And this one. So we have strength. This challenge will make you stronger. You will get through to the other side. Look for the gifts in this situation. And you have flow. Find an easier path forward. Surrender the outcome. Release your expectations. And look how this dreaming card and flow card have very similar energies and color schemes, because they're both kind of like leaned and flowing, like she's in the water, this in the wind. That's interesting, and it's kind of same color scheme as the magical blessings. And wow, these actually go all together perfectly. That's interesting. It's all of these cards, the colors actually merge together really well. The blues and the purples on the left, and the blues and the greens on the right. So I guess with this strength card, I get the energy, slight energy shift, or I guess let's just say energy recognition that maybe this all has been a lot for you. Maybe this has been a little bit of a challenge, and that hasn't been recognized quite yet in the reading. So your light team does want to just validate, or your light team does want to confirm that for you, that they recognize that you've shown so much strength through becoming aware of and then developing these gifts. Because it is a lot, like when you have all these downloads and intuitive hits and like things, just understandings, epiphanies, plopping into your head and just occurring, and especially if it's happening a lot on a daily basis, it's when you don't have somebody explaining it to you and you've never experienced somebody else go through it, it is a lot to figure out and decipher for yourself. But your soul chose to kind of be the guideline. I heard as in like the example to figure it out for yourself, because this was gonna create and develop a lot of strength within yourself. And as somebody that kind of chose a lot of more difficult ways of, or just a more difficult path, maybe difficult isn't the right way, but a less common path that is not set out for me, and I have to figure it out for myself. I understand how this is, and I understand how this does develop strength, but I know my soul chose this so that I would learn these lessons and not skate by without learning them. So yeah, sometimes we go through a lot so that we can learn from it, and it's annoying because we're like, why would we choose this for ourselves? But that's kind of like us seeing it through the eyes of our ego. When we can step back and find the magic in a situation, that's seeing it through the eyes of our source. And so I do actually want to read a little passage from the guidebook on this card. Let yourself grieve or feel vulnerable for as long as you need to in order to fully heal. Know that you do have the strength to come through on the other side, and you will. You have been through many trials and many lifetimes, and you have prevailed through all of them. And I wanted to read that because we talked about that, how you have lived many lifetimes and you're here to bring that knowledge and wisdom and love and understanding. You're here to bring it into this world, into the people's lives that surround you, into your own life. You're here to experience it and to explore it and to share it. When you are ready, look for the hidden gift in this experience and the reason your soul called it in for you at this time. Know that just like the piece of coal, you will emerge from this experience glittering and bright like a diamond. So, I just saw your fortune. Again, good luck will come in the springtime, which we're taking as good luck will come when you align with your inner being, which just means exploring these gifts, exploring your daydreams, exploring your night dreams, writing them down, writing down the intuitive hits that you get, writing down the inspiration, the divine inspiration you receive, remembering where you come from, exploring the knowledge of the other beings of light from other dimensions that are out there, and exploring your own mind through meditation is going to be super helpful to help you tap into receiving even more downloads and more psychic gifts. And so, though this situation may have been challenging at times, you are just being guided, you're being recognized for that and guided to just find the gift in the situation. So like I said, sometimes we go through some challenging trials and times, and sometimes it's a very long time. I understand that, but our soul chooses this so that we can learn a specific thing from it. And the longer we resist this, the longer it takes to learn the lesson and the longer we go through the trials. So that's just a side note coming through to confirm that they understand it's been a lot, but you are capable. You're very, very capable of managing your way through this. And the way you'll do that is with flow, and what flow is, let me read this real quick before I continue, but find an easier path forward, surrender the outcome, release your expectations. So flow is, well, it can be found through meditation, consistent, if you ask me, daily meditation, but I don't know if you're interested in that, daily meditation. Flow can be found through connecting with your inner being. So this can happen through meditation, but you can also connect with your inner being through a really energizing and high vibrational conversation with another person that really uplifts you. That can put you in the state of being aligned with your inner being. Journaling about the future that you would like to see, or journaling about even your dreams and the intuitive hits that you receive or the downloads is a way to tap into your flow. We'll tap into your inner being, which puts you in a state of flow. Like I said, being in nature earlier, I said, is a way to tap into your own flow, your inner being, tapping into your inner child. So, forms of play, things like that. Basically anything that makes you feel good, that allows you to feel good and to feel happy, is going to put you in a state of flow. When you're in a state of flow, you are open to receiving messages. When you ask to tap into the light, messages of light from your light team, angels, ancestors, whoever it may be. So I would like to pull a card or two from the Night School Moonlit magic deck. This deck has some inspiration. It's kind of hard to shuffle, it's so small. Has some inspiration regarding magical abilities, psychic gifts, things that you may tap into. So I just want to see what comes through for you to kind of confirm or add to the reading. For group number 2, psychic, creative, or magic abilities they may be tapping into. I heard at the top. And yes, there's 2 here. Or no, top one, and then I'm hearing both, so okay. All right, so we have group. I had a really strong feeling that you were gonna get the same card as group number 1, and the group number 1's message wasn't 100% similar, like related to yours, but it's definitely similar. So if you were drawn to group number 1, this is a confirmation to feel free to go ahead and watch that reading as well, because now we're getting similar cards, or same cards. Inventory your influencers. From social media to television to family and friends, we are surrounded by other people's thoughts and feelings. Who's influencing you? Make a list, then highlight the influencers that support your well-being, happiness, and mystical evolution. And we have find your equilibrium. Stand in yoga's mountain pose and push your feet hard into the ground while letting the top of your head stretch straight to the stars. Imagine a string stretching from the crown of your head into the heavens, feet on the earth, head in the stars, you stretched in between. And we have the experimenter affects the experiment. Acquire 2 small versions of the same plant, set them up so they are subject to the exact same variables and conditions. Shower one plant with positivity, picture the other wilted and withering. Say mean things to it. Compare the vibrance of each one after 1 month. Okay, so with this inventory your influencers card, this card came up with group number 1 as confirmation because their reading was centered around their kind of like their mental diet and how that would influence the gifts and the gifts coming through them that they would be expressing. So this is just a message from the night, which your light team, that is encouraging you to just be aware as you step into this dream work and you step into this era of exploring your mind through meditation or whatever it is that puts you in a state of flow. It's a good time to go through, if you are a social media person that likes to scroll on social media, or if you are just somebody that does it at all, to go through and just clean up your news feeds. This can pertain to also, in-person relationships or just, it doesn't have to be influencers. It can be people you communicate with online. It can be people you can communicate with in person. So just kind of clean up any thing that may not be contributing to your well-being and your peace of mind and your happiness to keep you in this state of flow. So if there's anybody that you follow that's just triggering when you see their stuff, I know sometimes we continue to follow those people because it's like interesting to it's interesting like what they have to say because it triggers us and it somehow is interesting to us, but it's also like kind of like not like being a martyr or a masochist or anything, but it's just like you kind of like making yourself, I'm not saying you do, I'm just saying sometimes when we follow people that aren't helping we know it's not helping our mental or physical, but we do it anyway because it's like interesting. Sometimes we just do that because we can sort of have like, this is gonna sound very strong, but like an addiction to pain, and that's not exactly what I'm saying is going on here, but it's just the best phrasing I can come up with to make sense of it. So sometimes we just like kind of like to hurt ourselves just to like, sometimes it's just because we're bored, and we find it interesting to see what others are doing that we don't agree with. I don't even fully understand why we do this, but so if it's something that you are conscious of that is just not good for you, then remove it from your newsfeed and or communications, or limit it, if you can't remove it or if you don't want to remove it fully. But also just be aware of what your mental diet is, what you're listening to, what you're watching, what you're allowing into your energetic space, that all affects your flow and your equilibrium, which we're talking about right here. Find your equilibrium. So this is talking about doing a yoga pose, but basically this obviously relates the whole time because this flow card signifies, it confirms that when you are in your state of flow, when you find your balance and your equilibrium, that's how you can best attune to your intuition and develop it stronger, and then tap into connections and communications with your light team or angels or ancestors or past loved ones. And so the experimenter affects the experiment is interesting that it came out because so when I pulled these cards, they came out together and I heard top, which is usually my clairaudience for keep the top card. But then I was hearing both, like it was almost like I think two different guides were talking. So one was saying like top and then the other was saying both. But the reason that this card was interesting is because I went through this deck and pulled out the cards that I felt would be really relevant to like psychic gifts, magical gifts, creative outlets that you came here to explore and express. I picked the cards that were relevant to this reading because some of them are in this deck. This deck is awesome, but some of them are really random and just didn't apply. So I just wanted to remove them and have just some cards from the deck that really applied to the reading. And this was one that I removed. So somehow this ended up back in here. And I feel that this is just a last message from your team to confirm, like, I think everybody at this point has almost heard this idea of having two plans, speaking negative to one, speaking positive to the other. The positive one, the one that was spoken to positive, growing vibrant and beautiful. The one that was spoken to negative, being wilted and dying and not growing well at all. So this is just confirmation that your thoughts and the way you speak to yourself and inwardly and outwardly, and the way you speak about your world and the way you speak about other people in your world is also a way that you put yourself in and out of a state of flow. So they're also letting you know that the way that you're speaking and thinking is affecting your connection with your inner being, and that doesn't mean in a negative way, I'm just saying it influences it, which also influences your connection with your light team and or whoever you may be trying to connect to of the light, whether that be like ancestors or past loved ones or whatever that may be for you. So that's just confirming it seems like the general theme so far, we'll see with group number 3, is a positive mindset is what a positive mindset, but like, I know that that's oversaid and annoying at this point to hear, but it is true. But even more than just a positive mindset, like a positive inner and outer dialogue is the foundation of a positive mindset, really, truly. So that's what's being focused on for the advice to open up and develop more of these gifts. So to just sum this up for you, you're going to be exploring your mind a lot. Like, you're going to be opening up and exploring your mind, your third eye. You're going to be developing your meditation, connecting with light beings, ancestors, past loved ones. You're going to be exploring your dream time and the symbolism of that, and how that can help you understand your life more, help you understand your past more, your future, and interpret the things that are going on so that you can make the wisest and best, highest vibrational decisions for yourself and take action on that, take divine action on that. So it sounds exciting, but you're also being validated and confirmed that, like, yes, this may have been a lot, you may have used a lot of strength to get to this point, but you have developed a lot of strength in the process as well. So just remember where you came from. Just know that you come from more than just one family in this one life. you come from a whole star system, and you are an old soul that's lived many lives, and you've come here to tap back into that wisdom through your meditation and through your dream time. So you will be, like I just said, with flow, with attention to flow and well-being and good feelings, and remembering and exploring through meditation and daydreams and night dreams who you are and were in past lives. This is all going to be like an interesting and exciting period of just exploring, like what you're exploring your soul, basically, what your soul has developed and gone through, and any wisdom that it wants to basically bring forth to you through this like next chapter you're stepping into. You're going to just be developing your psychic ability of your dream world, and in interpreting that into your day-to-day life. So that's exciting. This is something that I am not super familiar with. I have a lot of psychic gifts, but I don't have a lot of revolving around dream work and stuff like that. But my partner does, so I find that interesting that he receives a lot of downloads and intuition and messages through dreams, but I'm more through my waking life. So you're going to be receiving your psychic gifts through your dream world at night and in your daydreams and through meditation. So, and that will be connection with your soul and discovering who you were and who you came here to be. So thank you very much, group number 2. This was a very fun and mystical and exciting reading, and I'm just looking to find my soul family, to call them in, to find kindred souls that are dreamers and, you know, kind of what this reading is about, who came here to live out their soul purpose and to follow their own path and to do their own thing and to just live their happiest life. And so if you would like to join the community, if you'd like to join the soul family, I will be here continuing these readings for you, just delivering messages of light to help you live your happiest life and to find to discover your own inner knowings. So thank you so much for being here. I am Krissa, and this is Cosmic Connections. Goodbye. Hi, group 3. So, I just wanted to let you know that your first portion of your reading is a little bit lower video quality. I will explain why that is later in your reading, but if I say why it is now, it will kind of give away some fun, exciting elements to your reading that I want to be aware of as the reading progresses naturally. So I will fill you in on that, but just know that the whole reading is not as lower quality of the lower video quality. It's just the beginning. I will explain why, and it's kind of a fun and exciting reason, so just stay tuned. What magic, psychic gifts, and or creative pursuits you may be exploring or tapping into in this next chapter of your life. When I was meditating and connecting with your light team, I did want to just mention that I usually feel something or see something or hear something when I'm connecting with each individual group's light team and energy before starting this reading, and it was very different from group number 1 and 2. This one was a little bit slower in a good way, like a calm, serene, peaceful energy. What I saw and felt was it looked like I was looking at a sunset because I had my eyes closed. It looked like red, like when you are looking at the sun with your eyes closed, and like see red because your eyelids are not completely able to block out the full intensity of the light. And then I kind of felt like a wavy sensation, like as if I was on like a huge cruise ship and like I was looking at the sunset into the abyss of the ocean. And it was just very peaceful. So we'll see how that taps into the energy of your reading. So you have the Seven of Pentacles, and your fortune is golden investment opportunities are arising. And I did want to mention that for group number 3 in another reading, I believe it was your next chapter reading, but it may not have been that one, so I will link it below. But this was the fortune that was pulled for that one as well. So if you feel like this reading really vibes with you and you would like to know more, you can go to that reading, because this was the one I believe that I pulled for group number 3 as well. And if that wasn't for group number 3, then I may or may not tag that in the description, but I did want to just mention that this may be related to that reading. But to go ahead and get started into exploring what magic or psychic gifts or creative pursuits that you'll be tapping into over the next chapter, I wanted to just explain that I had been wanting to do this reading. I got the inspiration for it a little bit ago, but I just wasn't really feeling super inspired to do the reading yet. And also I just moved. There's a lot of planetary shifts and things going on, things changing, aligning, and I just kind of wanted to be in the best energy to do this reading. I wanted to provide a quality reading for you guys. So I took some time and I just pulled your main cards, your main tarot cards, and then I kind of got the idea to pull 4 cards, one from each, from a deck from each element. So to explain, there's going to be 4 cards here, one from water, one from air, earth, and fire. And they will just be kind of like an energy check to kind of just make sure you're at the right reading and that things are aligning for you, so that this message will match up with your energy and provide the best information for you. So this is going to be the first message of fire from the Dragon Oracle, and it is a message of fire and a message of power. So you have courage, and this next one is the air element. It's from the Oracle of the Fairies. It's a message of inspiration, and it is fairy spotting. And I feel like when I was discussing another reading having the same fortune, I think that this card was in that reading too. So I'm gonna go back and look at that, and if it's so, I'm definitely gonna link that. Oh, let me read this to you. It is time to go fairy spotting. It's said that seeing is believing, but in fact, the opposite is true. Believing is seeing. And this is a message of grounding from the earth. This is the tarot of the Elves. Now, this card is sort of graphic. This deck is sort of graphic. I was, hoping I wasn't gonna pull a super graphic card, so I'm gonna just show you it, but then I'm gonna put your fortune over it, parts of it, because honestly, I don't even really want to look at the energy of it. It's not that bad. It's just that I'm sensitive to this. So and it's going on YouTube and stuff. So you have the 2 of Swords, and this, I'll explain this deck and card more when we get to it, why it is like the way it is. So that is your message of grounding. And then you have a message of healing from the water elements, the Oracle of the Mermaids of Miracles. So I have started to notice that with group number 3, in a lot of the readings, and I'm not going to say it's going to be every reading, and I'm not going to say it's been every reading, but a lot of the readings, I'm starting to notice the energy of group number 3 is mystical. It's more mystical, you could say more like witchy, more tuned into the idea of like right here, this imagery where believing that fairies do exist, or believing that other elementals do exist, mermaids, dragons, or that they did at one point and that they still can. That's the energy I typically get from group number 3. So if that applies, that is major confirmation. So to start off, like, I had been feeling with the 7 of Pentacles and the Courage card, I had been feeling like, and also the Fairy Spotting card, whenever that card comes up, it indicates what I was saying, that you are more mystical, you're more open to the idea of this type of life, incorporating this life rather than like what's going on in the day-to-day reality or the 3D. And so with the Courage card and the 7 of Pentacles, I feel like this is your soul. This is what you want. This is what your soul came here to express and explore is, I guess you could put it like, it doesn't have to be clairvoyance, because you don't have to see them. You can also feel them and hear them, but being able to tap into the energy of mystical fantasy beings, whether you see them, hear them, feel them, sense them, I mean, that's the same thing as feeling them, but that's your soul. Like, your soul is capable of that, and that is something that your soul is very interested in coming here to express if you're not already doing this. But I can see that this message of power from the element of fire, the dragon oracle, you've had to use and be very courageous, use a lot of courage if you are already at a point of expressing this, to express this. If you aren't at a point of expressing this, to get to a point of accepting that this is who you are. So just depends how far, because this is a collective reading, so I don't know. Well, it's not that I don't know, it's just that there's going to be people coming from different points in their life. So some people will have used their courage to express this, develop it. You know, you may be in at the point of expressing it, or you may be at the point of developing it, or you may be at the point of just recognizing and accepting that this is who you are and this is what you want to do. Because like at first it can seem so overwhelming and weird, like you won't be accepted, but as you grow into it and explore and learn more, like you realize how you normalize it, and you realize like how beautiful and magical and special it is to have this kind of mindset and to be this kind of person. So with the 7 of Pentacles, what's coming through is ancestral energy here, that this has been a work in progress, that your ancestors have been wanting to explore, but you're the one that is able to come here and to be free and open enough to tap into these gifts of seeing or hearing or feeling these beings of light. The 7 of Pentacles here is just like making me think of, like, of course, the hard work, but really what I'm thinking and feeling is like your ancestors really, really attempted and wanted to do this, but like it's just coming through as a lot. We're at a point in time, 2023, where basically every day that goes on, I hope I can make sense what is coming through, like put it into words that make sense. We're at a point where like it's more accepted, this stuff is more accepted to be tapped into, to be this kind of person, to be exploring and expressing this kind of way of life is more accepting each day as time goes on, because time goes on, so we evolve more, and you know, since the early, well, just as time goes on we accept more. So you're at the most, like, your ancestors were at a point in time where there wasn't as much evolution as has happened now, because that's just how time, that's what happens with time. So they just, social norms maybe held them back or kept them blocked, things like that. So that's what this energy is like you were the one that came and decided, like, your soul in this time and place was going to be the one to be able to tap into this and connect and clear whatever was holding them back or blocking them. So with this card, the Two of Swords, this is the tarot of the Elves, and of course, like I just had to pull one of the more graphic ones. It's a sort of more, not dark deck at all, but it's more like based in like an older time when elves would have existed and things were just more primal, I guess you could say, in a way. So each the major arcana tells a story of the hero's journey, and as does with most tarot, but it's really interesting to explain it. It's kind of it's just a different kind of tarot deck. It really tells a story with each suit and then with the major arcana. So what I want to do is just read your sentence, because each card just has a descriptive word in a sentence, so that I can explain this scene, because each card is a scene, as is with the standard tarot, but this is just more cinematic. I guess it tells more of a story than most tarot has, like a meaning behind the card, a universal meaning, but this really does, but it also has like a storyline to it, and it really is going to apply to your reading. So the Two of Swords is usually somebody blindfolded, typically, with two swords across their chest, and it indicates indecision or the need to make a decision. And so I can see that with the Courage card, this decision to follow your inner being, to follow your light, to follow your inner knowing, may have felt like, so what this is this man chose to keep the sword over his son's life. This is like a negative entity that was threatening his son's life, and he chose to protect the sword over the child. And what that's just saying, why this card came up, like, don't be intimidated by it, because what it's just saying is that this is like a really intense situation, and I just feel, and I felt the intense energy before I drew this card, that this was just not an easy decision for you. It was just really, I mean, it probably isn't for most people, because most people would see this kind of way of living and believing in fairies and dragons and mermaids would probably like see this as crazy or stupid or just a waste of time. So yeah, it can be kind of challenging living on Earth in this 3D world, to be that kind of person and to let people know that you're that kind of person. And it can feel intense like this. It can feel like a life or death situation, because it can, because like that might sound dramatic, but it can, because you can feel like you have to choose your own life or somebody else's, like being yourself. If you have to fake who you are and hold back parts of who you are, that does feel like death. I definitely know about that. So that this is just validating, or really just confirming, letting you know that yes, your guides and your light team are aware that this was challenging. So I did just notice the Seven of Pentacles and the golden investment opportunities are rising. So I just want to say that I feel like whatever this is that you are doing, tapping into, if you do decide to make a career of it or express it in a way that you intend to, or maybe don't even intend to, but it just might happen, to make money from this or be financially stable, provide for yourself, to provide abundance and stability, it's definitely and the cards. Hi group 3, so I wanted to just pop in. This is after your reading. I wanted to explain a few things as to why your first video was a little bit blurry and just a couple weird things that happened that I really feel are related to your reading. And I wanted to share with you because I thought it'd be kind of fun and you might find it really exciting and even confirming for your reading. So I recorded your reading and the video cut out, or my phone actually died, I guess. And I was kind of, I wasn't even really that worried, but I was like, okay, so maybe I don't know how much of this reading that I lost, but it's okay because if I lost a lot of it, then I will just start over and maybe pull some new cards and maybe a different message just wanting to come through. So I turned my phone on and your reading was like gone completely. And then the one that I had recorded before that was gone. So I was kind of like, okay, instead of getting mad, I'll just take it as a sign that something else is wanting to come through. So I set of the app, the Photos app, and I don't know what I did. I did something else. I went back into the Photos app and everything was back where it was. And it happened to be that where you're reading, where my phone died and it cut out, it actually cut out like basically right when I realized that it cut out, so I didn't really lose anything at all. So it worked out really well, and I think that partially that was because I didn't go to my go-to and in the past go-to and, you know, freak out as we naturally will, and I just stayed calm and just took it as a sign from the universe, and then it kind of all just worked out. Something else that I wanted to mention, though, that's a little bit more fun and exciting. I think that I had a couple technical issues with your reading. It was, for some reason, once I got the video back, it was in the format of a square and like an Instagram photo crop instead of like a normal YouTube video format of a rectangle. And so it just looked really weird. And when I would revert it back to original, like on the photo app, it wouldn't, you couldn't do that. So it didn't make any sense at all, because then if I edited it, it would show it in the rectangle form, like the whole entire video that it's supposed to. I hope that makes sense. This is kind of weird editing stuff. But anyway, so I had to do the screen recording on my own phone and record your video playing in the Photos app in the edit, like in the process of editing, if that makes any sense. Like I had to let the video play as if I was going to edit it, but play out. And I just screen record it and crop it, and so that's why it's such a weird quality, but I'm happy that I have the video for you and the message. And also, the whole reason that I believe that this happened is now I can tell you, because you are deeper into your reading and you know that you are tapping into mystical realms and you're tapping into earthly elementals and working with spirits such as the Fae and mermaids and even leprechauns, that yes, these things are real, and they just live in other dimensions and realms. And us as humans, it's harder for us to see them, so we, you know, typically don't believe in them, but you are here for a reason and you're tapping into that. And I think that what was going on is these elementals, they like to play games like in a fun, and like they're tricksters. They like to play pranks. They like to have fun and to play jokes and to kind of trick people in a fun way. And I think that that's what this was. It probably was a combination of ending the Mercury retrograde and just some weird technical stuff. But I think really, truly, I feel that it was some of your elemental light spirits kind of popping in and messing things up a little and making it funny and just showing you their presence. And also this is confirming that this reading is valid and you are tapping into these realms. So that's kind of fun and exciting. And so yeah, I just want to let you know that you had some trickery, some tricksters kind of coming in your reading, some spirits coming in other than just your angels and your guides and your light teams. So you had some elemental light spirits coming in, and that's kind of fun. And so I just wanted to let you know that that's kind of how it works, and it's fun and exciting like that. So you can stay tuned for the rest of your reading. Thank you so much. Hi, group number 3. My camera totally just died, and it was really weird because I thought that I turned it on in this video, the one I had just recorded for you right previously, was not on my phone. So I was like, okay, cool, I guess that's a sign that I need to, you know, just try the message again. Maybe that whatever came through wasn't meant for group number 3, but it really felt like it was. And then I just like kind of let my phone charge for a minute, and then it all of a sudden showed back up. So weird Mercury retrograde stuff lingering on for the next 2 weeks probably, because it just ended today, and I always feel those effects after and before, but maybe that'll even be relevant to your reading in a way, because normally I would have like panicked in the past, and I would have been like mad and been like all of that energy for nothing. Like that was a lot that came through and I lost it all, but I didn't even get mad. I was just like, okay, whatever. Like at this point, I've like dealt with so many mishaps in life that if that's not the right message, I'll just do it again, because that's just spirit saying, you know, as time goes on, like conditions change. So sometimes you can record a reading and then it may disappear because the people that were meant to hear it, sometimes you can change a lot in your life to where that reading wouldn't even apply anymore. And that group of people that would have received it, it wouldn't apply anymore, so that reading disappears, so you can create a new one to match up with their energy. I hope that makes sense. So we'll see. But back to what I was saying. Yes, if you do choose to pursue this for any financial gain or abundance or stability, it would definitely provide that for you. So to just put that out there. And next we're going to... let's see, I pulled from the Pleiadian Oracle deck in group 1 and 2, so let's do that for you as well. These have a lot of magical meanings and downloads and messages of light. Gosh, this card is just, the eyes. I think it's the eyes that get me. Like when I can't watch scary stuff if I see something like on accident. Like sometimes I'll have scary commercials. I have to cover my eyes because there's something about like the portal of the eyes that gets me, and it's just not good. So I don't know if that's super weird and doesn't make sense, or if you guys get that. If you're in this group, you might get that. So okay, I really just don't want to look at this. Okay, so now that we have like some general energy of this reading, I'm sorry, that's like totally sideways. It's kind of thrown a little off with the dying of the camera. But now we have a general like energy tune in basically. So now we're gonna get a little bit more idea of this connection with the mystical fantasy realms that you have, that you seem to be really tuned and tapped into. Whatever the Pleiadians would like to bring forth. Okay, I guess that is just not gonna stay there. We're just gonna put this here. Sorry if I'm being a big Cancer baby, but like I just don't feel like looking at creepy eyes. I don't know if that creepy child endangerment would be flagged on YouTube, so we'll just try to avoid that altogether. Okay, so the Pleiadians. Heard this one. What do you have for group number 3? For their psychic gifts coming through, magical talents, or creative abilities. Okay, so I did pull 2 for the other groups, I believe, but they just said just 1 for you, so we'll do something else. So you have Remembrance. Wow. Okay, so group number 2 got this card too, and there's like a lot of cards in this deck. So if you felt called to group number 2, I did feel like this group was tied to another group, but I wasn't sure which one yet. I didn't pick up on that quite yet. It wasn't told to me. So this card validates that, or confirms that is what I meant to say. And it almost feel like applies more to your reading even. The Remembrance card is a card that comes up when you are being asked to remember your soul's essence and your all of your lives you've lived and all of the wisdom and knowledge you've gained through those lives. You are very much being encouraged to explore who not only the mystical and fantasy realms of Earth, like the idea of elves and fairies and dragons and mermaids and unicorns and the magic and wisdom that they hold, but also other dimensions. So your group, I'm already feeling, is probably the heaviest, like in the heaviest magical, if that makes sense. So like the holding the most magical properties. Group 1 was a lot about clearing ancestral patterns and habits through the mind, and group 2 was a lot about doing that through dream work and receiving downloads through dream work. But you seem to be more tuned into the ethereal worlds and the fantasy worlds, and like I don't know if you are familiar with like the Arcturians and the Pleiadians and the star systems, but if you aren't or you are, it's something to ponder and to consider looking more into, as well as the fantasy realms. I don't know, I'm just going to say this just so that if you don't know, you do know. There are books that you can buy. I have a ton of books on fairy spottings and fairy witchcraft, to do spells with fairies, to work with the elementals. And I'm sure this applies for mermaids and other beings that you may be interested in. If it's not fairies, take it however it applies to you, so you can really explore and develop these abilities. It doesn't have to be just through whatever you come to understand or know, as in downloads or intuition. It can be something you can take action to actually take action to learn about and to explore, rather than like letting it come to you through downloads. So this remembrance card is just coming through to just validate, to just confirm for you that, I don't know why I'm saying validate so much, because I don't really like to use that word, but it keeps coming through. I just, maybe a lot of you in this reading today are just looking for that confirmation, and so that the strong, heavy energy of validate is coming through. But this is coming through to confirm that, yes, like, you're not crazy. This is real. You have these abilities. These beings are real. This connection is real. It's very true. It's very solid. It's very ancient. It's very ancient. This isn't your first time of tapping into all this and exploring this. You're just bringing it back. You're bringing magic back into a time of being magicless almost, you're bringing it back. So this isn't your first rodeo, I guess I just heard. So, okay, so let's do some angel messages. Let's see what comes through. And then we're gonna do some of the night school. Moonlight magic deck. That's it. Okay, just one. For some reason, just one on that one too. So we have release, let go, and focus on what is positive and uplifting. So this being under the courage card is just, I feel that there's a lot of heaviness with this group, because with all of this fairy spotting energy, as in mystical, magical being, believing in these realms, tapping into these realms, seeing these realms. Like, I'm sure people have, if you've been outward about this, people are, we do live on Earth and people don't tend to, this isn't a go-to belief system, so I'm sure you've dealt with a lot of negativity and disbelief in your own abilities from other people. So your angels are coming through, the ones that are keeping you safe and protecting you with white light, are just encouraging you to let go whoever needs to hear that. I don't feel like everybody needs to hear that, but some people, a couple people need to just hear that it's okay to let go of what those people said and thought, because sometimes, like, when we live in a reality that doesn't believe in fantasy and magic, and we believe in it, at first it can be easy to brush it off, like when you're a kid, but as time goes on, you live more time on Earth and you experience more doubt from the outside world, and then you can internalize that and start to sort of believe it yourself. So sometimes we have to undo that and rewire it, and I kind of explained it, I think, to group number 1, that it's kind of like undoing a knot, like a big knot that's like a bunch of knots, like one big knot that's a bunch of knots. It's kind of like undoing that, and so we release one at a time. You know, it's not like one big release from our trauma and past. It's usually one at a time. So I think that your angels just want to come through and just give you a hug and let you know that they recognize that it's been a journey, it's been a battle, it's been a long time coming, and it's not just you, it's been, like we were talking about with the 7 of Pentacles, it's been through your ancestors. They've all, each one before you has been a stepping stone to bring you here to be able to live this. And when you tap into this and when you experience this, fairy spotting, we're gonna call it, your ancestors heal and get to experience this through you. They get to experience your joy and your happiness, and they get to live their dreams and the things that they didn't get to experience in their life on Earth. They get to live that energy through you. So when you do that, you heal that karma for them as well. So now I'm just going to pull some cards, maybe 2 or 3 from the Night School Moonlight deck. What I did was, this deck is a little bit bigger than what's here, but I just pulled out the cards that were relevant to the reading, pertaining to creative pursuits, magical or psychic gifts that may be coming through, or that your guides are encouraging you to tap into. I did pick out some cards because some of them are just random and really don't make sense, and so I just wanted to have the cards that were relevant to this reading here. So we are just going to see what comes through as some last messages from the night. I see this one, and I hear, yes. If there's anything else missing from the reading that you may be able to tap into or to just confirm. Yes. One more. Oh. Top. I heard top, okay. All right, so we have practice reading symbols. Interpret the symbolism of a circular staircase beginning with history and mythology, then looking at modern scientific and or engineering information. Take a gander at known symbolism. End with your personal reflection. So again, you may be drawn to group 2. This is another confirmation because they didn't get this exact card, but there's like 3 of these cards, 3 or 4. Practice reading symbols, and each one of the 4 has like a different, I think the group number 2's was more about like reading symbols in nature. So this is talking more about geometric symbols, I believe, is what is being inferred here, which is interesting. If you have not heard of sacred geometry, that is something that you may want to look into. It is it's kind of a lot of information to just say at once, but it's it holds the energy of a very, very old soul from basically the beginning of life. It holds the energy of that. So that ties in 100% to this reading, because this energy of this group 3 is giving me the energy of the more advanced of the 3 piles, the more spiritually and psychically, I don't know if psychically is a word, but psychic advanced, and the oldest of souls of the 3 groups. So this card is coming through to just validate that like you are a very old soul, and like I heard creation of time. So you've been around since the creation of time, and that's why you are able to connect with these beings of light, because they trust you, because they know that you're pure and true. But also this card is coming through to just, you know, actually literally let you know that these symbols of geometry, sacred geometry, may be very healing for you as well. When I was little, I used to be able to close my eyes and see geometry patterns dance like in my third eye, I guess it would be, like my scope of vision with my eyes closed, whatever, if that makes sense. Oh, there's actually 2 cards here. You know, as we get older and we create blocks and become closed off because of 3D and reality circumstances, I, you know, wasn't able to see these that much anymore, but it is coming back more, and I came across information that this is actually what it was sacred geometry, because I am an old soul, and I'm tapped into that energy and tuned to that energy. So I'm not going to get heavy into that because it's a lot, but it's just something interesting to be aware of. If you haven't heard of the term, they're encouraging you to look into that, to just be aware of what it is, so that you know the depths of your soul. You have 2 cards here, so let's see. We have research a symbol. Choose a symbol that you're fond of. Research how your symbol appears in various myths, folklores, designs, and sacred rites from around the world. Okay. Chart your tides. Charting your moon tides takes 30 days. Each day, note the phase of the moon along with how you're feeling. You'll need to track multiple months, to learn your own patterns and predict your moods. And I don't know why, but I just want to pull off these cards I feel called to do that instead of reading one at a time. Step into change. Small changes help you get acclimated to bigger changes. Try going to sleep at a different time or upending the order of your bedtime routine. What does this do to your senses? Are you more intentional about how you go about your evening and how you move within your space? So there's a couple meanings that are coming through here, but research a symbol right next to practicing reading symbols is further confirmation that you probably already are aware of the symbolism in your life, and, you know, like as in what the weather means, how that is a reflection of your inner world. Certain spirit animals or animals in nature, technically same thing, that occur and follow you and keep reoccurring in your life. Even forms of traffic, honestly, is a symbol. It's a way that the universe communicates with you. So this is just asking you to continue to develop your communication with the universe, which all you have to do that is to be aware of the way it's communicating with you through nature, really. And it isn't always even nature, because traffic isn't technically nature, but the universe does communicate with us through that. It communicates with us through the way our relationships are in life. You know, what is inward comes outward, or so below is above, or whatever. Like, I don't get into all those phrases, but whatever it is, where like what is inward is your outward reality. That's what they are encouraging you to look into more, to pay more attention to. But I feel like you already do, so they're just really saying like you're doing a really good job, and just keep reading into those symbols, keep looking up like what those angel numbers mean, what those reoccurring numbers mean, what that reoccurring animal means, what the symbolism of is it, and also to even open up your senses and your awareness more to symbols, not just nature and animals, but, you know, we were talking about sacred geometry and symbols, so things that are more than just of this earth and physically and nature. So to expand your communication with the universe through symbolism in just any other ways that you're interested, and in any other symbols that you're interested in. And this could even be the form of like a religious symbol or something like that. It can really be whatever you're interested in to just expand your horizons. Chart your tides. So you have like a lot of magical and mystical energy that is already here and is like coming through with these 4 cards. So your light team is also letting you know that, like, along with all of this magic and mystical fantasy realms that you can tap into, you also can do a lot of you have a strong connection to the moon, and so you might want to start doing moon work. You might want to start doing like moon rituals or something like that. But this card is actually a little bit literal as well. Like, I've been doing this kind of just like when it's a full moon or when it's a new moon, kind of just starting to notice how you're feeling. You can start simple with just those 2 phases of the moon cycle, and then you can get more in depth with the quarters and stuff like that, how you're feeling. But if you just start with those 2 as markers, that'll be kind of helpful. You can also download apps, which I will do my best to remember to link in your part of the description. For group 3, there's an app where it tells you, because the moon changes signs, astrological signs, every 2 to 2.5-ish days. So that affects our emotions, or it can affect our emotions, depending how sensitive you are to that. So you can also chart that as well and see how you're feeling when the moon is in certain signs. I am a Cancer, and so when the moon is in Cancer, it's just kind of quite a time, kind of a lot. It's not always bad or anything, it's just emotional. So it's just good to know those kind of things in advance. So I think that maybe they're just telling you that so that if you do know that stuff in advance, it might just like help you along your journey in life, you're obtaining your desires, creating the reality that you want for yourself, things like that. And then this step into change. Small changes help you get acclimated to bigger changes. Try going to sleep at a different time, doing different things. What does this do to your senses? So this is just asking you to heighten your senses even more, so that you can tap into these realms and these dimensions and these fantasy beings of light. But this is quite a change. Like, obviously this is going to be quite a change. I feel like there's going to be a couple different groups of people coming here, people that are just starting to be aware of this, people that are just starting to tap into this, and people that are already tapped into this and just developing it further. So regardless of what state you're at, this has been a major change, or is going to be a major change from where you're at currently or where you had been in the past. But it is a change for the better. It is a change for the greater good. And this connection is important because the group 1 and 2 was a very important, what they're doing. All groups are so important, what you guys are doing and tapping into, but groups 1 and 2 dealt a lot with healing and alchemizing the negative energies and kind of like dissolving them and releasing them. But you are kind of more embodying like the laughter and the happiness and the magic and the joy of planet Earth. And like, you're here to keep that spark and keep that inspiration and happiness alive within group 1 and 2, within those people, while they work through their healings and making their connections and developing their intuition and connection with their light team. So you have a big role here, but you're doing it very gracefully, and it's going to be very successful. There's not a whole lot of talk about if you're going to pursue this as a career and be abundant or provide for yourself through this, but if you choose to, it will be successful. But this reading wasn't really intended to be about finances. It was about gifts and magic and abilities. So that's what has come through more. But your guides in your light team do just want you to know that if you decided to express this within the right energy, if you're in your right energy, this would be successful and it would make you very happy. But this is who you are. You are an old soul that came here to not deal with the, I heard the BS, you came here to tap into the light and tap into the magic and to show the world that still exists and it can still be possible for them as well. So I'm very proud of you, and I definitely connect a lot with your energy a lot, and I think it's beautiful. And so if you would like to join the Cosmic Connections soul family, I'm looking to just connect with and call in kindred souls, sensitive, empathic beings that are here, looking up to really just live their happiest life, express themselves who they really truly are, be their authentic selves, and live their dreams and their life path that they came here and set out to experience and embark on. So if that sounds like you and you'd like to experience more readings and join the family, the people that are here are really, really sweet and beautiful and amazing and kind. So it's a great community and you won't be disappointed. And I appreciate you watching this video to the end. So thank you so much, and you will see me in the next one. Goodbye, group number 3.